Okay, guys. Now, we're looking at a posterior view of the longest bone in the arm, the humerus. But before we look at the posterior view, let me turn back to the anterior view. Now, I just want you to remember that when you have the medial side and the lateral side, everything lateral is lateral, everything medial is medial. So, for example, we have that lateral epicondyle, we have that lateral condyle, and then we also have that lateral supracondylar ridge. On the medial side, we have that medial epicondyle, that medial condyle, and that medial supracondylar ridge. Now, to remember those two fossas, the radial fossa is on the lateral side. And remember, the radius is also on the lateral side of the forearm. The coronoid fossa is on the medial side, and remember the ulna is also on the medial side of the forearm. Okay, so now let's turn to the posterior view of the humerus. Now guys, in your quick atlas, in your book, your brief atlas on page 35, I'm going to identify the features on the posterior side of the humerus based on the numbers in your book. So again, and now guys, so this should really be a review other than two new features. Okay, so here in your book, number 1, we have the head of the humerus, and then that little line that goes around the head. Here, like an invisible line, that's the anatomical neck, number 2. And then if we look at that tubercle most laterally on the humerus, that large tubercle is the greater tubercle, which is number 3 in your book. Now guys, if we go down to number 6 in your book, here we have the surgical neck. Remember guys, the neck holds up the head. Now, let's go down to number 7 in your book. Here guys, it's important to know that the deltoid tuberosity can be seen from the anterior view and the lateral view. Because guys, I don't want you to mistake the deltoid tuberosity for the new feature that I'm getting ready to identify. So remember, the deltoid tuberosity, number 7 in your book, can be seen from an anterior view and also the lateral view. And then remember guys, number 8 in your book, this is the body. This is the body, the shaft of the humerus. Now guys, a new feature that's identified in your book is number 9, which is the groove for the radial nerve. So I would say about right here is the groove for the radial nerve. And guys, it's kind of tough because in this plastic model it's not as prominent as I would like it. But for the practical guys, I will not trick you. I may say, guys, please name this groove on the posterior view of the humerus. So you'll have an idea of what I'm asking for. So here guys, about, I would say about right here would be, again, number 9 in your book, the groove for the radial nerve. Okay, now guys, let's go down to the distal end of the posterior view of the humerus. So let's look at number 10 in your book. Number 10, that would be that lateral supracondylar ridge. Number 11 would be the medial supracondylar ridge. Number 12 would be the, let's see, number 12 would be that lateral condyle. Number 13 would be that medial condyle. Number 14 would be the lateral epicondyle. Number 15 would be the medial epicondyle. Now let's see if I can find number 18 would be, this is another new feature, the olecranon fossa, and this is going to articulate with the olecranon process. Okay, it's kind of hard for me to see, guys. Number 20, that would be that rounded area, the capitulum. And then number 19, this kind of spiked area a little bit, would be the trochlea. Okay, so remember guys, the only two features that was introduced here was the groove for the radial nerve, and then this huge fossa right here, the olecranon fossa, that will articulate with the olecranon process during elbow flexion and extension. And here we have the posterior view of the humerus.